It's
That was the perfect time to start the recording. Welcome, everyone.
yeah.
Welcome back. Last we left our heroes, we were in Yuki's monastery. It is the morning after the delve into the Temple of Shifting Sands. You all had some time to rest up, so you did get a long rest. For those of you who might have missed it, I might have forgotten to mention it before our session ended, but you did get a long rest the previous night.
Woo!
Uh, the evening and the morning spent speaking with Temerity, trying to learn what she knows. You guys sent a sending out to Fedwin, who contacted Yuki in her dream, who promptly asked him how to make a boyfriend.
He did not sign up for that training montage.
And the connection
Oh.
got fuzzy after that. Uh, upon awakening, you were visited by the ever popular vassal of the Summer Knight, Sir Talavar, or Summer Queen Sir Talavar, who came to guide Temerity back to the Feywild, back home, as Lorelei would put it. But Temerity was not so keen on the idea. So instead, Talavar is kind of sticking around Temerity to keep an eye on her, whilst our heroes uh, are here finishing up whatever loose ends they wish to finish up here at the monastery, and to potentially uh, figure out what the next steps are. So with that, I will bring you back to the mountaintop at the monastery, where you may talk amongst yourselves as to what loose ends you may want to finish up while you are here, and figure out where to go now.
Well, that was awkward. Um, did we do anything for her, or
I think Temerity is safe and accounted for the time being. Any particular awkwardness between her and Lorelei is to be resolved between them.
yeah? But that's probably for the best.
Uh,
It's early. Did anyone still want to go back to bed?
I'm not going to be able to go to sleep now.
Yeah, kind of. It. I. Is it mostly seeing all the monks try and catch a fairy dragon, or the fact that it's a fairy dragon that's keeping everyone else awake? Honestly, it's mostly the stoicism of the place, and then all of a sudden seeing them all try and jump and try and catch a fairy dragon that was kind of out of the strange bit for me.
Something balance.
It has been a long time since I was awoken by the ek of warning. I
It has a name.
Please tell me that's the official name.
fuck it is now.
Oh my god. I've never heard you make that warning sound before, Yuki.
Mm. It is only when encountering something that a group of us sees, or something that it's a noise we make to alert other tabaxi of
Oh.
danger.
Oh, okay. Well, if we're not all going back to bed then, what do we do now? I mean, Temerity gave us a lot of, well, not a lot, but some information about where the other echoes of herself are.
Naruto starts unfurling her map to take a look at various destinations that she's put notes by on where we could be heading next.
In the time before we were all awoken, I was able to confer with Fedwin.
Oh, did you? What did
Yes.
he say?
Um,
Did he?
well,
Was he able to say that no one's breached the Citadel yet, or is it all a shambles? Or I'm just gonna let you talk rather than trying to guess.
Yuki smiles kindly and gently at Jade. It is all right. It is a lot of pressure, a lot of questions. So, according to what Fedwin was able to tell me, he said that the circle has not been activated so far. We can trust Temerity, and also that when I asked him about anyone possibly we could reach out to at the Citadel to confirm or make them aware of this issue, he said there are rotating guards protecting the circle, and they are deep, deep, deep in the depths of the Citadel, and would have to fight just about all of the Sentinels to get there. He did not seem to be as concerned about it being breached as we are, that I'm not sure if that is something to be taken as a positive. He also was unable to confirm, Professor, that he is the man of my dreams, or that somehow boyfriend would be made from being a man of my dream.
The professor just stares at you, just blankly. He's like, but he just shakes his head and just kind of goes back to whatever he was doing.
It was very odd when I did ask him how boyfriends were made, as this seems to be a topic I am not very educated in. He wasn't able to answer me, and just suddenly said something about a tunnel and faded out of the dream.
Oh, you don't know how boyfriends are made? I have that in Binder. Did you want to read it?
Oh, that would be quite enlightening. Yes, Jade, I would love to.
Okay. I skipped over most of the chapters to get to that chapter. So there's a lot of pictures in the before chapters that there's a lot of pictures in the before chapters.
Pictures of what exactly?
Oh, it's just just this things. I'll show you later.
All right.
Anyway, if Fedwin says that it's the teleportation circle hasn't been breached, that's a good thing. It means that while they've stolen the piece of the teleportation circle, maybe they needed to get it, and now they're trying to figure out a way to breach the rest of the Citadel. I assume that it's probably been slowed down because we weren't supposed to catch them. Back in Crystal Cove, like they were supposed to get away. No one was supposed to know that it was a Temerity echo that got away, or that it was a shapeshifter at all. So now that they know, maybe they've taken precautions, and that's why everyone's been pulled back to the Citadel to guard it. Which is good, though. I mean, it means that at least they're on guard. I don't know how protected it would be if they really tried to get in, but at least that it hasn't been used. Well, does that mean that we should go and try to recover the piece then, so that they can't use it later? Like if they find a way to breach, or get through, or bribe someone, or get a dragon to fly over and set it all on fire? Which I guess would probably be hard. They'd have to know a dragon.
I think my thoughts trend towards, of all the active sort of schemes that we know of, they're all concentrated in Aberril, which leads me to believe that
Right.
their concern for the Clavis is a priority over any of the. Do we have a name for these items that sort of apparently hold like essence of gods and bind various worlds?
I would just call them artifacts. Artifacts?
Temerity kind
God
of
gems.
pipes up and she says, "We've been
Oh,
calling
you're
them."
still here! I'm so sorry that I was talking about you as if you were not here. I thought you left.
No, she's still there. She kind of pipes
Oh,
up.
I'm sorry.
Doesn't seem phased by it. She says, "We've been simply calling them imbued items, just so that we know what they are, but perhaps someone listening to our conversations may underestimate their importance."
And all those items are... They're not all here, right? That theoretically... She does like the little air quotes thing, but does it for too long, again, too many words. They're all scattered about all the different realities.
Yes, just the one is here,
Okay.
the one we called the Marvel.
So they can't get to that one unless they get into the teleportation circle. And they can't get to the teleportation circle if the Sentinels are guarding it.
Theoretically, if they have any door to the astral plane, they would be able to find it, but the astral plane is so vast that it is difficult to know exactly where you'll
Be
end up,
harder.
exactly where you need to go, that it would be difficult. Not impossible, but extremely difficult to find it without having access to the keyed location.
Okay. So that's a good thing for us then. It means we got time.
And we have a rough idea where it was taken as well. If we were to pursue that first, there's entirely a possibility that we could find it before they get the chance to use it.
Right. And if it is... So, she's going to look at the map that Naraka has laid out. If we assume that Elgroth is the place that they went to because that's a cave system by the water, that might be where they're hiding it. And we could take potentially another clone off of our list of bad guys because they would then be dead.
One of my clones
Because we would have to kill them.
One of my clones is currently in Elgroth in the caves. I would be willing to bet gold that they're guarding the item. They have not used it yet.
What do we do with that if we do get it? What I mean, do we use the teleportation circle to go recover the piece so that they can't get it, or do we just keep the teleportation piece away from them so they can't use it at all?
I think that might depend on what the multiversal situation is. If there are other groups like these cultists on the other planes who are trying to worsen the rips between the dimensions and making plays against the... she looks a little unhappy, like she wants a better term for this, the imbued items.
I still think
well.
artifacts is better.
Still not very descriptive, but we'll workshop it later. But the question then is, if we have the clavis, are we able to use that to offer aid to whoever's resisting those efforts elsewhere, or would we want to get our hands on the item because that would be helpful in that endeavor? Or actually, do we need that as well as the other imbued items to do sort of the restitching of the weave to shore up the barriers?
If I'm understanding things correctly, Temerity, the whole, at least not the whole purpose, but some of the reasoning behind them wanting the the Clavis in the first place is because they can't get to the other realities. Is that like they can't actually go there themselves yet?
Not in a controlled manner that they would like.
But can they speak to other people across realities? Were you able to do that with Rufus?
I did not do that myself, but theoretically it is possible.
Okay, so that means that Noriko's theory that maybe they are working with other groups of like-minded individuals across realities could potentially be on the table. Which means if that's happening, other people could be looking for those god gems, artifact, marble pieces.
It is possible, and to Nariko's point, there is one such running theory that collecting all of the imbued items in some fashion could potentially close the net back around the void and keep it from incurring on into different worlds.
Okay.
Even if it's not an active organization, we already know from what we learned of
Right.
Barovia that void corruption and void creatures are making their way through these rips regardless.
Something slipping through, right. I think then, if that's the case, even if they aren't able to get all of them, they know that the marble one is in the astral plane. Maybe, at the very least, we need to get it and hide it somewhere else where they don't know where it is. Because if they know it's on the astral plane, they're going to keep looking for it, even if they don't have the teleportation circle. So maybe we need to at least get that out of that particular plane of existence and move it somewhere else, or hide it, or put it at the bottom of the ocean. You know, if they don't know where they're looking for it, they can't find it again. But that means we get the piece and then use the teleportation circle. Do you think the Sentinels would let us do that?
I think if we have already proven ourselves by cleaning up all of the rest of this mess, they will have very little room to argue.
That's true. So maybe we have to take care of all the clones first. Echoes. But I don't think we should leave that piece in their possession for much longer if we can help it. What do you think, Professor?
Consider this. What's the one thing that the cultists have failed to do time and time again?
Kidnap Reverie.
Beat us.
That as well.
So really, if we're looking at the data alone, the safest place those relics could possibly be would be in our possession.
We wouldn't. Well,
It's a small sample size, but the general logic checks out.
they have tried mostly to. They have been spread apart. Most of them haven't been with. It seems the most powerful person that comes against us is one of the Temerities. They don't seem to have a lot of adventuring party cohesion. People together with them, so that could work in our favour if we're able to catch them off guard, especially if they stay in the places guarding things or staying in that one area until they're assigned somewhere else. If we know where they are but they don't know we're coming for them.
And if we happen to have any of these relics, it's entirely possible we could put them to use against them.
That's true. We could stop them before they do even more damage.
Either way, I think the course of action is going to be going on the offensive here.
Elgroth is also the place that our bounties came from the men on the river.
Mm-hmm.
If they have been hiding out there, and they have I guess like a base camp, like a cave, base cave that they're sending orders out of. Maybe we can stop them from putting any more bounties on us, and then we don't have to fight more people.
At the very least, I should like to pay them a visit.
So it seems we're pretty much in agreement that we're heading towards Avero. Our ultimate goal is to take on what seems to be their headquarters out of Elgroth. The question then is, do we head to Elgroth first, take advantage of potentially some element of surprise, but not knowing for sure just how many forces they have there? Jade, you mentioned the bounty. We don't know if setting foot there is going to invite half the town to come after us.
That's true. But if they had bounties, wouldn't they have sent them out to find us elsewhere? They wouldn't just stay in the town, right?
The ones who are proactive, yes. But if posters have been put up around just on the occasional street corner, I don't think we're going to last very long before we are spotted as those folks, and then anyone with an opportunistic bent to them could strike.
If they're in the caves near Elgroth, though, we don't actually have to go into the city.
True.
Do we?
But we don't know how to get to those caves just yet. It's not a place we're informed about.
Oh, but we have a friend. What was her name? She helped us. Our half orc, the lady who came with us when we were fighting the gnolls. She's from Elgroth.
True. Should I write her a letter?
We could write her a letter, or if you give me a little bit, I could probably send her a message.
That's an option.
And then maybe she could tell us that.
And then there's also we know where the Clavis has been sort of holed up with Fedwin. There's the question of whether or not we want to head to Silvercrest or Tremonto to sort of take out a couple of the Echoes who are a little bit close to that position to avoid them discovering the Clavis.
That's a good point too. Temerity, where did you say that you thought Rufus might be?
I think it's likely that he would be in the caves under Elgroth.
Because he's the one who was sending out the messages telling people where to go.
That doesn't surprise me.
So if we did find him and we were able to stop him, then the chain of command would be broken. Like, they wouldn't be getting orders from anyone and being told to move anywhere.
I think it's possible.
I mean, I'm sure there's more people, but what do you think, Ren?
I think going to the potential source and start of our troubles is an excellent way to begin.
Yuki?
Yuki is thinking.
Yuki
She is
ponders.
not muted. She is not muted. Yuki is thinking.
Allison might be
Yuki.
chewing. Okay, we got stuff going on.
Yuki has been muted before, but she is just thinking at this moment. Yes, I think I agree with Ren. That would probably be our best course of action from here, anyway. What do you think, Nuala?
Reverie.
God damn it, Reverie now. Sorry, I'm not in front of my computer right now, so I can't see the little name.
It's Reverie now.
Stop with the changing. That's what they do.
Listen, we're trying to respect people's chosen names and pronouns, all right? It's hard when they change every 3 sessions.
It's hard.
I mean, it has only been like what, 2 weeks in game?
It's been a month.
It has
Been a month.
Yeah, it's been a month.
It has been a full month now.
Don't worry, guys. There's more.
There's so much more.
Great.
Not helpful.
I'm gonna need like a flow sheet or something.
Yeah, sure.
Teaching aid.
I agree. I think we should go, and I think the quicker we get there, the better.
So we should go to Elgroth first.
Yeah.
So should I send a message to our half orc friend? I think her name was Alice. Avarice? I think it starts with an A.
I would not send the letter if you are uncertain who you're writing to.
Oh no, I could just I asked Papa last night if I could have a better way of talking to people, and he said yes, and so I am able to cast a spell that lets me speak to you in your brain from a very far away.
I would
But I'm-
ensure even more so that you have the correct person in that case.
I remember what she looks like. I just don't remember her name much. I'm pretty sure it starts with an A.
This poor half-orc's gotta be sitting there minding her own damn business. And she's gonna be like, hello? I'm not sure of your name, but hello. Voices in her fucking head. This lady's gonna go crazy.
Oh, that's a swear.
Oh, sorry, that was Suzanne, not Ren.
Oh.
Sorry, I thought I pitched my voice up appropriately. It's it.
I thought that was Ren doing a thing, and so I was even more amused. I don't have to contact her. It's just I remember her saying she was from Elgroth, and if we're concerned about how to get into the cave, she might know.
Perhaps.
I do remember Fedwin saying something about the caves not being. We would need a rowboat. It's not passable by ship.
So did you go in sneaky?
Mm-hmm.
Or it might be better for us anyway, because then they wouldn't know we were coming. Potentially. Temerity, have you been there?
No.
Oh. Okay, so that's not a good plan then. She can't come with us.
I'm not sure how much use I would be to you right now anyway.
Are you still not feeling yourself?
I still feel quite a bit weakened.
Oh. What are you going to do then?
I was planning to stay for a time here until I felt well enough to head back to Moonhaven and retrieve one of my spellbook copies and then see if things improve.
Oh, yeah,
Alatar has all your spells, right?
Alatar knows my spells.
Okay. So all of these that are coded in here, I could just make a copy, right? If you need it.
Yes, I suppose you could.
Would that help?
She kind of like shrugs a bit and she says, couldn't hurt.
Should you be alone, though?
She kind of smiles a bit and looks at Sir Talvar and she says, oh, I'm not alone. Talvar
Okay.
holds his little dagger out and says, yes, I will protect Miss Temerity until my last breath.
Temerity will also be safe here at
Oh,
the
no.
monastery.
I meant when she leaves here.
Mm.
And, you know, it's great that you have Sir Talavar. But didn't you also have other people guarding you the last time? And then you kind of disappeared, and then no one knew where you were. And you have friends, right? Like, there's people who were worried about you.
She smiles a bit and says, well then, perhaps Zhao Mao will be kind enough to let me borrow some of their monks for a while for an escort.
I mean, couldn't you just, like, call your friends in Edmay? Or maybe stay there?
I don't want to burden them.
I don't think you would be a burden. They have a whole inn.
I will consider it.
It's okay. I don't like confrontation, but that seems silly. I'm gonna go over here.
Well, so far we have 3 votes to head for Elgroth. Straight away, voting Avril. Professor, what are your thoughts?
Oh yes, definitely Algroth for me.
And Jade?
I think if we go to Elgroth and we can stop them from coordinating things and get back the stuff that they stole, it's really going to hinder the bad things that they can do. I say we go to Elgroth first and try. Did you have a different idea though?
I was more leaning towards Tramonto, mainly because, again, at the moment we're not too sure of how Elgroth itself is to deal with, separate from the cult. But also, if I can meet the Goldwaters and sort out whatever schemes are happening around there, they could potentially provide us with a lot of material support, which we really don't. Like, I don't think any of us know much of anyone who even lives on Averill, let alone people we can look to for help besides Fedwin, but he's sort of in hiding.
Are you worried about Marcus?
I am a little worried about Marcus, partly in the sense of if we go to Elgroth and cause a lot of damage, what the echoes might do elsewhere in response to that.
I understand that. That's a good concern to have. I guess my side of it is if we can stop them from getting word to move around, that leaves less time for us to lose them. If we go to like Silvercrest and we take out one there, they seem to know when one of themselves is removed, and then they might all scatter, and we're not going to have Temerity with us to tell us where they're at. Although I guess I could reach out and ask you. She looks at Temerity when she says that. If you feel where they're at that time.
Temerity will nod.
Okay, so we could potentially still know where they're heading, but then they might also know where we are at and coordinate that way. But I don't want you to. If you're worried about Marcus and you want to make sure he's safe, us going after Elgroth and all the leadership might make them come after us and leave those places rather than going after anyone else.
Maybe. It's a lot of unknowns. That's
Yeah.
why I kind of lean towards the more cautious approach, I guess. But if everyone here is set that trying to get to the heart of the matter might be the best way forward, then that's what we'll do.
If we go to Elgroth, and it is where they have their headquarters, it might tell us exactly where in each city they are hiding. Otherwise, how do you find a shapeshifter in the city?
Honestly, the echoes have not been terribly shy about making themselves known to us. Let's be real.
That's true.
All right. So the plan: we head back to Wavernport, board the Corvus to head for Averill, destination being Elgroth. We can talk to some of the sailors in the docks down there on what sort of the entry situation is like for Elgroth itself as well as the caves. Jade, you can put a message out to our mercenary friend.
Yeah, of course.
We are going to load up our bear, because I am fully expecting, probably going to run afoul of more agents out to get us, like we did with the shark men on the way over here.
Did you still want to stop at the Temple of Toth and ask them about prophecies?
Sure.
We're already going to be here. We might as well make sure we have all the information that's possibly available, and that might also help us figure out, some way to warn Marcus if there even is anything.
I hold very little hope of us finding anything actionable, but it couldn't hurt to at least check the records.
We might as well try.
Mhm. Alright.
Temerity will kind of pipe up and she'll say, I understand that the decisions you guys are making, but if I could also make a suggestion to you, um, If you were to sail directly to Elgroth, I can give you a little bit of what the lay of the land is like. You won't have much luck trying to approach from Cirrus Harbor, which is where the cave will be. But you could make landfall somewhere between Elgroth and the Wild Pines. There's no dock there, but you could probably drop anchor not too far from the shore and make your way over land from there. There is no direct dock that will bring you into Elgroth, though. That is pretty heavily fortified. You could also circle around the Elgroth Mountains and make landfall north of Belton Keep. That's another way you could potentially come through land, or if you're looking for an actual proper dock, your best bet would either be Tremonto or Port Mulligan. They have actual docks that you can leave your ship at. As far as your priorities go, it seems like there are a couple of targets that you have. Want to go to Elgroth to secure the piece of the teleportation circle that was taken. You want to meet up with Fedwin wherever he is and help protect the Clavis, and the other being to go after each of the echoes, as you call them.
Fedwin did tell us to it'd be best from his perspective for us to get the other enemies off the board. That sounds really insensitive to say it that way, but to make the enemies not a problem.
To neutralize the threats, to neutralize the lesser threats.
Yes.
If you were to ask my opinion, that's what I would say as well.
Well, it's good that we're not asking your opinion then now. I don't say that. I don't actually say that.
On one hand, though, I will say, taking out the lesser threats means that Elgroth knows you're coming.
Right.
However, attacking Elgroth first may redouble their efforts on finding the Clavis, and if they already have a scent of who has it, where it might be, without Elgroth there to lead them, they may just go straight for where they think it is, and you may have a harder time trying to get to Fedwin. So there are advantages and disadvantages to each approach.
If I have to pick between the two, I am more comfortable with taking out the smaller threats and them fortifying their position where at least I know where they are and I can formulate a plan of attack against them. As opposed to taking out the head and then leaving the agents unaccounted for and also far more in a frenzy to accomplish their mission that we have to chase after them. But that's my opinion, and I also have dreams of putting a lot more cannons on the ship to make that whole assaulting a fortification more feasible.
We can't get to Elgroth with our ship though.
I mean, Temerity says you would probably be able to get within cannon range, but you would not be able to sail directly to the cave with a larger vessel.
Right. If they're in the caves, the cannons won't. We could explode them out.
More just sort of a visualization of my overall stratagem. Although we'll table that for later. Anyway, that's my vote of which of those two tactics I would be more in favor of.
Well, she does make a good point. What does everyone else think?
Do we want to pursue this in a more stealthy manner? I believe we do have some magical abilities that would enable us to traverse the water even without a boat. Not for an extended period, but enough to get to this cave.
I think the biggest benefit for us going to Elgroth first is just that they don't know we're coming. They don't have time to plan for us. Potentially, I mean, I don't know. Maybe, so they have crows everywhere. Maybe they would know. But if all of their people, the other bigger players, which are the Temerities, are all in different areas, that leaves just whoever is in that cave, and we potentially have the element of surprise. They've surprised us a couple times, and we did not like that. But if we're worried about losing them afterwards, I suppose that's the other side of it, right? We could take out, maybe, if they don't escape, which they might, but if we were able to take them out of Elgroth, then that means that they are more disorganized, and that might work to our benefit. But at the same time, if they're more disorganized, we also can't plan for what they're going to do. So, I still think it's worthwhile to go after the bigger threat and make sure they can't coordinate an attack potentially on finding where Fedwin is or where the Clavis is at. Right now, we know they're still looking. They don't know yet. That means less direction from them, and less, and likely more people not being able to tell them where to go and what to do. But if we're worried about losing them after we do that, then what Narco says is also really a good option too, where we can go to all the other little places we know they are, and it makes it harder for us to get into the caves where the more powerful people might be waiting.
It's also possible that in the process of taking out the smaller agents, we could be using that time to recruit some allies to back us up when it comes time to go after their headquarters.
What do you guys think, Professor? I still think it's worthwhile to go to sneak into Elgroth, but I'm probably not the best person to ask for their opinion on that.
I think there's merit to all of this. I'm still on the same page. I think cutting the head off will significantly weaken the rest, which will put him in a position to take him out a bit easier. Although, it is worth noting that it may, as Naraku said, cause them to double their efforts. It's a gamble either way.
It's true.
At least if we go the Elgroth way, if they are indeed holding the piece of the teleportation circle there, at least we have that, and that gives us another place to go after. And also secures it from stopping them from potentially using it while we're looking at other things.
True. What about you, Yuki? What do you think? You've been a monk and you trained in all this.
I feel like our decision seems to be circling around the debate between, is our primary purpose right now to stop the echoes and reduce the threat, or is our primary goal to, as you say, take off the head and scatter the troops?
Well, I think the end we'll have to take all of the enemies out of the equation eventually. It's just a
True.
matter of which way we want to do it first. I think I agree with the professor in that if we go after Elgroth, we have a better chance of getting not just the more powerful people potentially off of our backs, but recovering the things that they stole and keeping it out of their hands. And then that means that puts more of their plans in jeopardy. It does make us more of a target if they find it, but that means they're coming after us rather than going after other people. And maybe, they'll be more scattered and they might do something rash, but they might also, just because they don't have anyone to follow anymore, be easier to find and be disorganized about it. I think it just comes down to, do we go to Elgroth and potentially the headquarters and take the care of that first, or do we go after the other echoes first? It's just one or the other. Going after the echoes means that we get those ones. If they don't escape, we take care of those ones, and then they can't come after us again. But Elgroth then knows we're there and we're coming, and has time to do whatever it is they're going to do, and potentially decide that they're going to just use that piece of the teleportation circle and just go for it, and we don't have a way to quickly get back to this side if we need to.
Mm.
Or we take Elgroth first, but that leaves more enemies, more smaller enemies, in different parts of Averil that we then have to track down.
Were I to choose, I believe that securing the piece, the artifact, I believe securing that takes priority over eliminating the echoes.
Professor, your face just did a thing. What is your face saying?
Well, this is kind of on topic, but also kind of off topic. Why doesn't Fedwin just take the Clavis to the Feywild to Lorelei's? It can't be easy to get to the Feywild, and it certainly can't be easy to get into Lorelei's palace, or whatever she lives in.
I don't think you can take the Clavis off the material plane, or else bad things will happen.
Figured it's probably something silly like that.
It seemed like that was why
lodestone for the weave itself. It's probably not a good idea.
it also seemed like that's why the little god pieces were scattered everywhere else, because those pieces aren't here; they're on different planes.
Are they on different planes, or are they in different universes? I mean,
well, the marble piece is on the astral plane, which is a plane from this reality, but I guess all the other ones are on different realities.
so,
They're not even. We don't have a way to traverse to get there yet, but we could keep one of them out of their hands.
Probably right, but it does cause one to think never mind. I have not done enough studying of the Feywild. It just seems to me that the Feywild feels like it's part of this plane, although then again, things that Lorelei said seems like maybe there's like one Feywild that touches all the universes.
From what she said, it seemed like there was at least her that touched all the universes. I don't know if it's a Feywild too.
Sorry, anyways. Go on.
Did anyone ask Fedwin to do that? Did we know if Fedwin, did he even think to do it? Maybe he just didn't think to do it.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, we haven't even thought of that until now. Well, at least I don't think so. But I haven't thought of that until now, and I mean,
I didn't
it
think of it until
seems
now.
without thinking that taking it off of this plane would cause problems, it seems so easy, especially when someone like Fedwin has such powerful contacts in other places.
That's true.
I did not ask him that last night.
Well, maybe next time
you should
comes
dream him
around.
again.
Should you summon him, should he visit me, I will ask him.
I mean, Fedwin is guarding his friend. She says as she looks at Temerity person who has the clavis. Maybe they are the one who knows more about it than he does. Maybe that's why it's not moving. It's probably what Norika said though. But we can ask. I don't see why we can't ask him.
There's no harm in asking. I mean, there's all kinds of manner of magical items that draw their power from being in a specific place. So, I mean, it's more than well within the realm of possibility that taking it away from here is going to cause problems. But, I mean, imagine if you could.
I mean, if he could, it seems like they should. It'd be easier.
You know, even if it seems obvious that you can't, I don't think we should leave no stone unturned in this.
It doesn't hurt to ask. We can't, if you don't ask, you never know the answer. You never know that. You know the question because you're asking, but you don't know the answer. Well, the answer might be no, but you'll never actually know unless you ask the question.
He wrinkles up his nose. He's like, I am not content not knowing.
Do you want to ask Fedwin?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me see here. I believe I should be able to do this again. He digs through his pockets and starts pulling out cards again. Like, I know I made another one of these somewhere. All right. All right. Let's do this again. Yuki, are you okay meeting with your boyfriend again?
Yuki smiles and says, I'm not sure if he is my boyfriend. I haven't read that chapter in Jade's book yet, but I am alright with meeting the man of my dreams, yes.
Okay.
Can you not just ask him the question in the sending and get the response that way?
I can only cast sending once.
Well, if he responds to you, though.
His responses are not direct. If you catch my drift.
You can
certainly did not give answers in 25 words or less.
Oh. Well, you can ask him the question and see if he can respond, and if he doesn't respond, have him go to, say, did you try to go to Lorelei's, Feywild, for safekeeping? If not, should you? If you can't answer, talk to Yuki. Please, thank you. Yes?
Yeah, let's
Something like that.
something like that.
Let's just worth a try.
We squeeze in something saying, hi, Professor, maybe, so he knows who's contacting him as well, if he can remember it.
Oh, it's probably a good idea.
Okay. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
I love the professor asking. I love Marcel asking himself questions.
Okay. Let's try this again. And you'll flourish a card to initiate the sending. And he's like, Professor here, did you try to take the Clavis to the Feywild? If not, could you? Tell Yuki if can't respond in 25 words. Send.
I think you're muted.
Damn it!
I'm just glad it wasn't me this time.
I like how he sent it like a text message.
Colon, right bracket.
Give me a second.
I swear to God, if he responds with LOL for lots of love, I'm going to be angry.
I like how even using text shortening for sending would not actually really help you. Also, what if I used my message, but I composed it in German, so I could use lots of compound words to do
Yes.
Dakushkanaki. That's one word.
So many
Uh,
meetings.
all I know is brot. That's all I know. You do get a response, Professor. There's kind of a pause
THX.
after you right. There's kind of a pause after you hit your sending, and you kind of hear, "Huh? Wow, I didn't think of that." Hey, Leda, think we should hide the Clavis in the Feywild? Oh, you think it's a bad idea? That's 25 words.
Amazing.
Did he talk to somebody else with my sending? Does he know that you can do it without speaking out loud? Well,
Jade looks around and looks at the Professor and goes, I don't think he knows how to do magic.
well, seems that Fedwin's friend doesn't think it's a good idea.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know who his friend is, but maybe they know?
Well, it was a good thought, Professor. Honestly, none of us thought of that before you mentioned it, so...
Yeah, well, sometimes the best way of keeping things in the box is by thinking outside of it.
I don't know if that makes grammatical sense, but okay.
Just Gao Mao in the corner nodding sagely of like, yes, great wisdom.
A wiser man wants to say.
Confucius saying baseball wrong. Men with 4 balls cannot walk.
Well done.
Fucky things lead to not fucky situation.
Ren, care to contribute your vote to the operational tactics on offer here?
Oh, I believe where we can do the most good is where we should go first. And I'm of the mind that eliminating the bigger threat is the better plan.
Yep.
Reverie?
Reverie muted?
Thank
Dang
you.
it.
Hey!
And now my mind blanked. What was the question?
Does Reverie think we should go to Elgroth or after the smaller, or after the other clones first?
I still think we should go to Elgroth.
Yuki?
I still believe Elgaroth.
Ren, does Scully get an opinion? Or it seems rude to not ask him.
Is it dawn yet? Because Scully's gone if it's dawn.
Oh yeah, Dawn has come.
Yeah, Scully's gone.
Oh, I assume you still had his skull? And
Rand
talked
has put him back in his bag. He is no longer animated.
Oh, he doesn't talk anymore?
Well, the magic that has empowered him to be active is now done as the new day comes. If there's time and occasion, I will reanimate him once again.
Oh, okay. So he does not get an opinion right now then?
Correct.
Okay. David?
There's a bit of a yawn from the bag at your hip. As oh yes, Miss Jade.
Do you have an opinion?
On? I have opinions on many things.
Oh, were you not paying attention?
My mind was somewhere else.
Oh. We were debating going to Elgroth, where potentially big bad, one of the Temerities, and also potentially the Rufus person who locked this Temerity in a box, might be, and taking it, eliminating them as threats. I still don't like that. And then taking back the things they stole, or going after the other Temerities first, and then potentially them later. Most of us think that we should go after Elgroth first.
Moment of silence as the pinpoints of flame kind of dart around, and then kind of looks back up at you, Jade, and says, I mean, it really is no bad way to go, but it sounds like you've already made your decisions.
That is true, but I just want you to know that you have an opinion, and I respect and appreciate it.
It's very kind of you, Miss Jade, but I am here to serve you.
Well, we're friends.
What was that? I missed what you said.
Well, we're friends.
Oh. Yes, we are friends.
Okay, good. I pat him a little bit.
I'm gonna give, hang on a sec. Gonna give Ren a Skelly character sheet. Scully.
Yay!
Let's.
Gotta put that with all my collection.
Right?
Loving this shit, man.
It's great.
I was so close to playing my Conjuration Wizard for this game. You do not want to know the pain I would have put Joe through with all the different stat blocks for the different summonables.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's going to be necessary at some point in time. I just want you to know this. So, Nariko, are you okay if we go to Elgroth first?
I'm fine with that.
Are you sure?
As David said, neither option is obviously the better one to pursue. It's mostly which consequences do we think we can better handle when they come. So
Okay. Okay. So, sounds like the plan remains the same then. We go back to Wavenport. We check the Temple of Toth for any prophecies that are here while we have access to such a place. We'll load up the ship, and we try to find out as much as we can about Elgroth from those that might have been there, and also reach out to our friend. I'm pretty sure her name was Eris, and then try to sneak in undetected as much as we possibly can. Oh my gosh, it just hit me that we are planning an assault on a thing, and I am okay with that, and I don't know if that is okay. Okay. I mean, it is good, but we haven't done that before, and I am weirdly okay with being okay with that, and that makes me feel not okay. Anyone else?
We've been on the back foot and ambushed and assaulted enough times that being able to be proactive and take the first strike feels good, and I'm not ashamed of that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too, and then I feel a little bit bad about not being ashamed of it.
Well, think of it
But I'm not
this way.
ashamed of it.
If we're successful, think of the lives we're going to save by eliminating the threat.
It's true. That is true. You are right. You are right, and I am not going to feel bad about doing what we need to do.
Additionally, if you think about it this way, we are just retrieving something that they stole.
That is also true. Stealing
This
is
is a
bad.
recovery action.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Recovery. I am actually okay with all of this. I am just... It's weird to be okay with it. Does that make sense? That probably doesn't make sense. But that's how it feels.
It is a recognition that who we are now is a progression from who we started this journey as, which is the whole point of these kinds of journeys, I think.
Well, that's the reason it's called, a hero's journey. You have to change. That's what they call it in the books. Academically. Are we heroes? Or just adventurers? I don't know if there's an adventurer's journey term.
Isn't it like an elixir or something that we're supposed to get? What is that?
I don't know. If we could get a magic amulet, probably. Those are always good.
Right. Okay, so we're heading back to Wayburn Port. Reverie, you indicated that you needed to copy some spell forms out for Temerity.
Only if she wants it.
I would accept it.
Okay.
But
Uh,
I'm going to assume that process is going to take at least the rest of today.
I am an Order of the Scribes wizard, so maybe not.
Does it reduce the time from like hours down to minutes?
Yes, for scrolls, and depending on how generous
Joe.
Joe wants to be. Thank you. Maybe for copying a spell book for Temerity.
Can Temerity help you?
Remind me what the timing is.
It literally it's 1 minute for every 1 hour that would normally take to copy a spell, and usually it's 1 hour per level, so it would be 1 minute per level.
2 minutes per spell level.
Oh, so 2 minutes. Sorry. So 2 minutes per hour, essentially.
Dang.
And can Temerity help?
I mean, we can only have Alatar open to 1 page at a time, so maybe
each
not.
do
We
one,
can take turns.
Take turns, though. Yeah.
2 minutes per spell level.
Hold on, I'm looking at Temerity's spell book.
Yeah. How many spell levels worth of spells are in Temerity? That's not just the one she prepared, mind you. That's every spell in her spell book.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yes, I mean, that would be a question of how many spells does Reverie want to copy for Temerity. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
I mean, if Temerity also gets her spell book for a little bit, she could just start copying herself too.
I mean, consider it this way: in an hour, you could copy like 30 levels worth of spells.
True, but keep in mind Temerity has access to presumably like 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th level spells, so each individual entry in her spellbook adds that many. So it's
I would
going
assume
to
it's
add
like at
up.
least today. And if it's early morning and we don't leave until tomorrow, then that gives you 24 hours to copy things between the two of them, taking turns.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So assuming Temerity is a 20th level wizard, she has a minimum of 24 spells in her book, of which
She's got a lot more.
Oh yeah.
yeah, of which I'm just gonna like take an average and like multiply by 5. Times 2, then divided by. So, I mean, without knowing the final answer, I'm going to ballpark that it's probably somewhere between like 4 to 8 hours, roughly.
Yeah. So if they have 24 hours between the two of them, like if that's all they do all day today, she should be able to get most of it copied. At least anything important.
I think it's definitely possible for them to get it done like by tonight.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would be quick enough that they could get it done and we could like get our ass down the mountain to make the caravan back to town.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, we could go with it tomorrow morning though.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could spend all day. I mean, it would take you into the evening to do that, but I mean, yeah, sure. We could say that is a possibility.
All right, downtime at the monastery then.
Downtime.
It would take
Yes.
9.13 hours.
That's it.
That's still a work day.
That is a full work day.
It is a full day.
Now imagine how long that would take if you didn't have the scribe.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on.
Mathing.
Math is cool. So hot when you guys do math. That's not sarcastic. That's true.
274 hours.
You're fucking god.
Jeez.
Or 11.416 days.
Which
So you're looking at a fortnight.
Which if you make that a little more reasonable of not just working straight 24 hours, it's that's sometimes it's nice to be an adventurer and being like a genius in your field. Very helpful.
Yeah,
right?
if it was 8 hours a day, it would be 34 and a quarter days.
Goddamn.
You're rolling at a month and a half.
We're describing.
All right.
Crazy.
Hey, there's a reason that she chose that.
Oh yeah. I mean, absolutely.
So we're gonna spend the rest of the day here at the monastery then.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Temerity and Reverie are gonna be tied up all day, kind of dealing with that. They will be able to rejoin you in the evening, but by then, it's kind of like one of those you've been working all day, and I just kind of want to sit around and watch TV, like sort of feeling, So with there being a whole day to yourselves, is there anything over the course of this day that you guys would like to do while spellbook is being copied? Of course, the monks are there. They will provide any kind of revisions you guys wish that they have on hand. They can even teach you a little bit of gardening if you want. You can train with them. Whatever. Yeah, the world is your oyster.
Can we roll in my chocolate cake instead?
Roll can totally be your chocolate cake.
I think Jade then is gonna go see the professor, and she's going to ask the professor, Professor, do you think that you should reach out to Z?
Like, just in general.
Well, okay. This is probably really heavy-handed, and I'm probably speaking out of turn and everything, but it seems like Temerity is just going to go back off and be by herself again, and I am concerned. Maybe if you tell Z that we found Temerity and she is, she went through an experience and she's going to go run off by herself again, maybe Temerity will realize she has friends and she will, want to go be with her friends rather than potentially trapped in a box again.
Well, could. The way I see it, it's most likely to go one of two ways. One way, Z sees that she just wants to be alone and will respect that because of their experiences together, and nothing happens. Perhaps Z gets her feelings hurt because her friend doesn't want anything to do with her. Or B, she pulls out the full weight of her friendship and pursues Temerity along with at least two other thorns of the Black Rose, chases her down, and she goes running. I don't want Temerity to be pursued like some sort of convict or something. I think that may spook Temerity. I don't know. It couldn't hurt. I mean, I'm obviously going to tell Z, and I don't really keep secrets that way.
Right. I don't know. Temerity seems so sad. I mean, she herself does not seem sad. Her story seems sad, and she wasn't in Volume 2 too much, but she was an important part of it, and everyone seemed to really like her in the story, and it makes me sad to think that she's so alone, and that no one was looking for her. And the person who was looking for her, she doesn't want her to find her, and that is sad to me. And it's just, what if Rufus or someone knows that now that she's awake and they can't use her anymore, tries to come after her, and then we're not here to protect her?
And look at it this way. When you read a story, there are parts that make you cry that may not make another person cry. There may be parts that make you laugh and smile that other people might find sad. And I think Temerity's story's just like that. She's a very unique individual, and the things that she prefers may not be the things that we prefer. And where she prefers solitude, you may prefer the company of others. She's choosing this path for a reason, and that's the reason that feels right for her. And I mean, yeah, I'll tell Z, but
I think we should just at least tell somebody else that she's okay and where she is, and then if they want to contact her, they can. But at least someone else knows.
Lorelei should know. I mean, Sir Talavar will be with her.
Yeah, but she didn't come herself, and that seems strange.
True. Well, Z seems pretty tied up in her work, but I mean,
I don't think Z has to come and get her, or anything. I don't think anyone has to come and get her, and I don't want Temerity to feel like she's trapped or anything either. But I just think maybe we should at least just make sure someone else knows.
Of course.
That Temerity is okay, and that she says she feels like a burden. And then maybe at least she'll get a letter. And then maybe Z can send her a letter inviting her to come back down or something. And then she won't feel like she's a burden.
Well, I'll let her know. Who knows? Maybe she's just aching to get out there and spread her wings a little bit again, and she'll check in with them. I mean, it's easy to not want to be a burden, but finding yourself in the presence of friends can change your mind pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Sure. That's a good idea, Jade. I'll let her know.
Okay, thank you, Professor.
He nods and he will, before waiting for Jade to leave, if she's planning on leaving or whatever, he will actually call Z and be like, hello.
Oh, you're having a private moment. I'm gonna go. And she leaves.
It's only private if you're not there.
Oh, I'm not here. I'm not here. It's fine. And she shuts the door and she leaves. And she goes to find Reverie and Narco.
Now,
That was
no,
that was so very hey girly vibe.
I fucking hate that bit, man. I do, but it's so
I hate
funny
that bit
sometimes when
so
it comes
much,
up.
but it's funny right now.
So Alzin, I gotta put you on the spot.
No.
You want to go ahead and play this out with Professor as a Z?
Yeah, sure, I'll down.
Cool.
That was nowhere near as terrifying as I thought it was gonna be. I'm like, fuck, I don't have a song for this.
Give it a few minutes.
God damn
You know, if you're ever in a bind for a song, there is one that has never ended.
it.
It just goes on and on.
Tell your friends about it.
So I think Z will be, as always, just tinkering around her brewery, basically her brewery laboratory where she makes all her creations, and very similar to last time. She'll just kind of have curls like piled on her head, like multiple pencils stuck in different angles, just trying to keep all of her curls on her head and just out of her face, and she's muttering to herself about, well, just no, I tried that already, and I did no. No, and it's not a problem that Ren ate all the apples. That doesn't matter. We have enough of the apple essence. We can use that. That's fine. Ren is welcome to all the apples that he wants. But the new ones should be growing any day now. I'm not sure about the apples. Maybe I should use raspberries. She's just muttering to herself about different types of creations of different types of brews, and I think, as she's muttering and pacing and scratching her head, she just hears again from her, from the sending stone that's constantly on top of her shelf. It's got its own shelf with his pen and all the fun things there, and her little journal. And she'll just hear Professor's hello.
Oh my god, the shelf talks!
Girly! I know you hate that bit, but I love it. And she'll smile, and she'll activate the sending stone, and say, "Well, you have the perfect timing. I was just about to pull the last bit of hair out of my head. How are you?"
Oh, you have pulled most of your hair out of your head. That is a choice. And I'm not opposed to it. I'm sure sorry, this is, I will call you later, but this is more of a business call.
Oh, of course. What can I do? What's going on?
Before I go on, not to presume anything or suggest anything, but are you in a place of being able to take a break? As in a small trip, should you deem it necessary?
Z, not one to put her responsibilities on hold, looks around and takes a moment to ponder and says, "You know what? Yeah, I'm actually between," and looks at her full sink of just cask and cask and cask of destroyed batches of brew and says, I'm actually in a really good place to take a break. What's going on? Is everybody all right? Are you safe?
Oh, yes, yes. We're at Yuki's monastery. Well, we found Temerity.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Is she all right?
He kind of does this like head bobble, trying to think of the right words. Like,
I can hear you bobbling your head. Just
She's
tell me
not-
straight out.
she's alive. She seems fine.
All right.
However, Jade says she seems sad. This whole situation she got herself into, and I don't know. Lorelei has sent Sir Talavar to collect her, but Temerity doesn't seem keen on going to the Feywild, and she seems to want to go off on her own, and seems like she's afraid to be a burden. And well, I was just talking with Jade, and it seems that maybe if she were to have a friend reach out, someone she really trusts, maybe she won't go off on her own and into danger, or at least she'll feel like she'll have a place to be that isn't by herself.
Well, it doesn't really surprise me that she doesn't want to accept Lorelei's invitation. Things can get complicated between those two, and especially if Temerity's feeling a little self-conscious, although she'd never say it, but she might be feeling a little self-conscious, especially if she had all these clones made. Anyway, what did you have in mind?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I think it would do her a world of good to see a familiar, friendly face.
How long are you guys still going to be there? Are you guys getting ready to head out the monastery?
Yeah, people are just sort of finishing up here today. Sounds like we may be heading out tomorrow morning.
She again looks around her brewery. She's already in motion. Hearing that Temerity might need a friend, Z is no slacker when it comes to supporting her friends. They are her family, so Z is already throwing stuff in a bag and figuring out how she's going to convince either Sephi or Sefka to get her to the monastery with spelly fun things, because she doesn't have spelly fun things, but they are super strong, so they can figure it out, I'm sure. All right, well, let me wrap some stuff up, and I will. Thorns don't let thorns be by themselves. We're family. I will take care of Temerity. I will make sure that she, if she so needs some support, if she would like a friend to travel with her, or even just be there to support her in a minute or two, I will do that. But Temerity can be dodgy. Just keep an eye on her for me for a few minutes until I get there, okay? But you said she's got Talavar?
Yeah.
All right. So she's got Talavar, and Lorelei can probably tell me where Talavar is if she decides to leave before I get there. Okay, it's fine. I can track her by Talavar. Z will pause in her planning and trying to hit the deck running to support Temerity, and she'll say, "It's really kind of you to look out for my friend."
Well, I'd love to take all the credit, but it was Jade's idea. And Thorns don't let thorns be alone. That can't be your official motto, is it? Because you guys need a bard.
Well, since Princess Kashanti has been, floating up in the plane of air, she's a little difficult to get a hold of. So, slogan making, not really my forte, but I guess the fun side part of that is it drives Sepka crazy. So, the more
Fair.
the more annoying slogans I can make, the more annoyed he gets, and the more happier it makes me.
Well, I won't hold you up. Thank you. And, next time we're all together, Nariko is incredibly good with PR. She might be able to help you with that whole motto thing.
I will definitely have to take her up on that.
Right. Well, bon voyage, and I will talk to you soon.
Yeah. Please take care of yourself. Be safe.
Of course.
All right. Talk soon.
Ta-ta.
And you hear Z already, like, before she signs off. Go find your mother! I don't care what she's making right now in the kitchen. Go find her! And then she'll click off.
Right. I guess I will let Jade and the others know what's going on. And he'll shapes off to find Jade, whatever she's doing, and tell her about what is transpiring.
Cool.
Well, if you're going to find Jade, apparently Jade's over in Nariko's room.
Yep.
So,
Jade left Professor to go talk with Z, and she wasn't sure how that conversation was going to go, or how long, or what they were going to talk about. So she decided
she was going to go talk with her girlfriend.
Yeah, I was going to talk to my girlfriend. We're all talking to our girlfriends today. So Jade is
So you guys had started the chat. Do you want to pick up?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, that's great. So Jade just she smiles at Narika, and she says, "That's well, great. I would love to be able to help. I would. You don't have to give me anything. I haven't gotten you any gifts lately, except for those flowers once, and but I just well, I'm gonna come in. Is that okay?"
Yeah. Well, it's fine. After our time in the temple with all the sand, I couldn't really sleep after we got back with Temerity, so I kind of did that thing where I drank too much coffee and I kind of like went into a haze for a minute, and I woke up and I had a bunch of new designs. And one of them I thought would be really useful for actually for a lot of us. But I wanted to hand it over to you to trial. Just
Okay.
for reasons. Anyway, she like digs through the table where she's got like a whole bunch of metal that she's apparently been working with, and eventually she pulls out a ring. Jade, you would recognize it. The gold band was the ring that we picked up back in the mirror maze. Nariko has very deliberately sort of like undone the diamond stud portion of it, and sort of replaced it with a more simple chunk of quartz that has been kind of layered with some of that filigreed artificer steampunkness that is part of her aesthetic. And she starts to babble a little bit. She's like, so I realized that after working with the sort of core that we got from Dungarall that I used as the centerpiece of RB's mechanical matrix, that the circuitry sort of within the crystal structure actually makes for an excellent just sort of self-perpetuating battery for mana. And so I thought about what if we scaled it down, and while I was working with Reverie, I got a chance to look over that pearl that she got that kind of serves the same purpose. And I thought, well, if the fundamentals are roughly the same, I just need the right set of raw materials, and then I could make something that could mimic a lot of the functions. Oh, wait, sorry, not the pearl, the ring of spell storing that Reverie has. So I was like, So I don't think I can really match the potency of that. I mean, it was very like custom made, and it's got a lot more like runic glyphs involved. But something that can mimic the effect. Anyway, try this on, and she hands you the ring.
Jada's just kind of staring at her with her eyes a little too big, and she just like holds the ring for a moment, and she goes, "You made me a ring?"
Yes.
I love it.
Great.
Um,
It
I,
it's functional. It does things.
I think everything you make typically does things.
Yeah. Um,
It's really pretty.
Thanks.
This is the ring we found in the maze.
Yeah. I a ring kind of works better just because since somatic components are held in the hand and the arcane gestures flow from there, having the matrix itself be worn there makes it easier to pull from it for mana consumption. And I needed a ring that wasn't already enchanted, so I could work with it, and that's what I had on hand. It's not it's not a wedding ring.
No, of course not. No, of course it's not. It's not.
No,
It's
I
no.
took the diamond off of it, so now it's just
Right.
a ring, and then I added science, so now it's a science ring.
Science
Which is,
ring, and it's got all the little. I see all the little carvings you did on the stone. It's really beautiful and intricate, and I really like it, and it's very pretty. And I I'm gonna see. Let me see what finger this fits on. This it's gonna go over my gloves, so it's it's gonna fit on this, but it's gonna fit on this. It's not a wedding ring. It's just that's the finger that it fits on, though.
yes, that's the finger that I took your measurements for last night.
That's okay.
I
wondered why you did that. I thought it was gonna be gloves, because of armor. Uh, so what do I just do? I just hold it like this? Do I just keep it on?
Just put it on, and then you should be able to feel an ability to attune to it. And
There's a little tingle.
Jade Narako has handed over to you her spell refueling ring.
Woo! Well, thank you, Narako. I do love it. It's wonderful. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't get tiresome to hear, but everything you do is wonderful, and this will be very helpful for us together, and I'll be able to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And she is just like she's doing that thing where she's like holding her hand on top of her other hand, and she's just like looking at the ring and then looking at Narco and then looking back at the ring again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
well, you're wonderful because you do very wonderful magic that helps to keep us all strong and alive. And I hope that this helps you. I could have used it for myself, but I don't have the same raw magical force that you or Professor or Reverie.
Well, you have the science.
Ren. I do, and you know what? Most fights, the musket has proven very, very good, and I made some adjustments to that. And it's great that I can help support all of you with some of these inventions. And
yes,
yeah.
Thank you, Nariko.
You're welcome.
It means more that you made it.
Good. and that's yours to keep however long you want to make use of it. So you were you want to help with
Yes, right.
my project.
I'm here to help you with things that I will not break. Professor's
one
busy
of
talking
the
with Lee, and I can't I don't know what he's talking about with her, so I'm not gonna stay in that room and transcribe. So I was, gonna be. Can I
okay. Well,
do something with gears? I don't know.
yeah. Well, actually, what the thing I was going to work on, that I think I had a bunch of ideas, but the one that might be good for you to collaborate with is actually writing based.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we've been collecting all of these strange books on history, the void, other possible worlds. I was going to work on making a a primer, something that could help us to kind of quickly identify those sorts of things. Um, could be I imagined it might be most useful for the professor since he's one of our uh, key resources for knowledge in terms of history and religion and other stuff. So it might help them a bit with those tasks.
Oh yeah, of course. I can do that.
Yeah, because I know a good bit about the arcane side of things, but more of the divine metaphysics is kind of uh, stuff you're more familiar with. So between the two of us, we could probably uh, make something pretty useful.
I think we can together, for sure. I have a lot of notes that I've kept so far, and we have all those books, and we have a lot of experience.
Oh yeah. So if you want to, he starts rearranging the furniture so that there's like a couple of chairs that can get like nice and comfy up to each other. I'd be happy to have you work with me.
Right.
And I guess in a way, it's also a little means that we'll kind of take a trip back and review all of the adventures we've been on.
Yeah. Be nice.
I think it would probably be about that time that Professor comes knocking looking for Jade.
Narco almost like jumps a bit.
Yeah, there's a door.
Oh, right. Excuse me. And she'll head over to the door and open up. It's like, oh, Professor. Hello. We were kind of.
We were
Hello?
just talking.
I'm glad to see you're both decent. Sorry for interrupting. I just wanted
No,
to
we
give
were
you
just talking.
Right. Riveting conversation, I'm sure. I just wanted to give you a brief debriefing on my conversation with Z.
Oh, sure. I was just pulling some seats around. You can sit down if you need. What's the scoop?
Oh, sure, thank you. Well, I let her know the current state of Temerity, and your concerns, Jade, about her sadness. So, it seems that she's currently looking for a means of getting here as quickly as possible.
Oh, I thought she was just gonna send a letter.
He shrugs. He's like, apparently the Thorns have a thing, they say, where Thorns don't let Thorns be alone. Something along those lines. I don't know.
That's
Like a buddy system?
Yeah, I
buddy
guess.
system came up in the book, but I've never heard of that one before.
Well, they're a very quite tight-knit group, and as he put it in a way that they're family. So getting her here to at least have a familiar face, something friendly to remind her that she's not alone, even when she wants to be. I don't think it's a bad idea.
I think it's good to just at least someone else knows that Temerity is around. At the very least.
Yeah, and in the very least, it's been a while since anyone's seen Temerity, so it should at least be nice for them to catch up, I'm sure.
I know! I'm sorry, I shouted. It's just... That's
Well, that's
wizards.
that's good. We'll have another set of capable hands and eyes. Help make sure that now Temerity's free, that doesn't fall victim to any further schemes until she can get herself back into her groove with all of her wizardly powers and can take care of herself.
Yeah. Is anyone else a little concerned that she still seems not powerful?
Well, she did mention that since whatever sort of void ritual they used to hijack her clones, that her power was kind of siphoned off to them. It's entirely possible that until those echoes are, neutralized, that they could basically have part ownership over what would have been Temerity's full power, which kind of would explain why they weren't quite so dangerous as might be expected whenever we faced off against them.
Because they're sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Flip side of that, every echo we take down potentially means that the remaining ones get stronger because they're not sharing with as many.
That also means Temerity might get stronger too, though.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if anything happens to us and Z is with her, at least Temerity can tell Z about everything that she's told us.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing's going to happen to us, probably. We're very capable.
Yes.
Mostly.
Things will happen. We will be a part of it, I'm sure. But okay. Allies have been updated. They are mobilizing to help make sure things remain stable. That sounds like a good update.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Professor simply nods and flashes a thumbs up. He's like, right, well, updated. I will allow you to get back to the conversation. And he slowly backs out the door, winks, and then takes off down the hall.
He's so strange sometimes.
I was gonna actually invite him to join us for the writing project, but I guess he's doing his own thing.
Maybe he wanted to talk to Z again.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, if she's coming here soon, maybe he's trying to get ready, like for a date.
I mean, we're leaving tomorrow. Can Z teleport? Is that a thing she can do?
I mean, that was not in the book, but I don't know. I don't think so. But we can still write.
Okay, yeah. That is good too. Narco will settle in with Jade to begin working on this magical book.
Yeah. Nerd squads all night.
Nerd Squad.
Between the wizard making a spell book and Jade and Narco making their own book. Professor doing science somewhere, probably.
Nerd Squad gonna Nerd Squad. In the meantime, Ren, is there anything that you would like to be doing during this day of downtime that you've found yourself having?
I am going to continue working with Char Char to see if Char Char can be helpful in adventures.
Give me an animal handling check with advantage.
I get advantage with an orange cat? Sounds like
yeah.
bullshit. Let's go.
You've been working with Char Char for a while. I think you guys have developed quite a good rapport.
He's got like 2 brain cells. He's trying really hard, okay?
On a 20, he might have grown a third brain cell.
Ooh, look at him working so hard. He's breaking a sweat. He's getting some extra treats today.
So yeah, so Char Char's working out pretty well. You don't have like an actual like proper familiar, right?
No. I'm not allowed to have one of those.
Okay. Well, maybe things change. But yeah, working with Char Char,
Okay.
you got him. You got him doing some good tricks. He's following your commands. Happy to do so for treats and belly rubs.
Ren has just got this like super quiet, proud look on his face. Can I help you? Less proud of the dog. It's your toy.
Oh, you're making those rolls with Suzume.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
That skill should be kobold handling. Thank you.
Right.
She's seen a lot of practice and things with one brain cell.
I mean,
I
Oh
understood
my
that reference.
gosh.
what?
Sorry, friends. I
no.
might not be awake right now.
You're totally fine. What is Ren's bonus to animal handling?
I don't know. Let's go find out. Oh, he actually has a +3. He's way better.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's even better. So you
Good
got
job, Char Char.
you got a 22.
Good job, Char Char. So proud of you, little buddy.
Yeah, Char Char's doing great.
He's a smart little baby.
And the monks are happy to supply you with apples as you were training with your orange cat.
Ren is not mad about this place.
They even make some apple tea for you as well.
Ooh.
And we'll
Can
have,
he collect the seeds?
yeah, of course you can collect the seeds. I mean, monks will
Excellent.
give you the seeds.
Excellent. Perhaps he can start straining them and try to develop a poison from them.
Ooh, interesting. That's also something you could do during your downtime if you want.
Excellent. We will make sure Char Char's away from the poison. We have the appropriate amount of faith in him. Somebody tell me.
Yeah, if you want to make an attempt with that, why don't you let's make a
Yes.
roll with either your herbalism kit or your poisoner's kit. I forget if you have one or the other.
I have a poisoner's kit.
Yeah, let's do it with a poisoner's kit. So that would be wisdom plus proficiency, unless you also have expertise in it, in which case you would double your proficiency. I don't recall what you have.
Expertise in it. I just have a kit. I don't know this stuff.
You probably have proficiency.
We have a lot of words here. Okay, wait. Roll back. What am I doing? I'm so sorry. It's been a long ass day.
That's okay. So what we're gonna do is
Okay.
we're gonna make a roll with your poisoner's kit. So
Gotta
that's
roll.
gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be a D20.
Roll.
I believe
D20 roll.
D20 roll. You can add your
D20 roll.
wisdom modifier and
Wisdom
your-
roll.
Yes, and your proficiency.
Okay, wisdom roll.
Yes.
+3. I didn't make shit, man. That was a really good conversation, and I enjoyed it immensely.
With your proficiency, that's a 10.
Woo!
So, I would say that it's this. So you're used to working more with like herbs and plants. Working with apple seeds, you feel it's going to take a little bit more time, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
We will continue experimenting.
Yeah.
Excellent. I am still very proud of Char Char's efforts today.
He's done very well.
So proud.
Anything else for Ren?
Oh no, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. So cut back to Temerity and Reverie. We're getting close to the end of the day, and with Temerity's help, Reverie, you've been able to copy almost the entire contents of, pretty much the entire contents of Alatar onto a separate book, which can now be adapted into a spell book for Temerity.
So as Reverie finishes up copying the last page, she blows across the page to get the ink to dry a little quicker. Takes it, closes it, sets it off to the side. And then she picks up her spell book and hands it to Temerity and says, "Here you go."
Temerity kind of blinks. She looks confused for a moment as she looks at you and looks to Alatar, the book that you just created, back to you, and she says, I thought I was taking the copy.
You and Alatar have been friends for a really long time. And he was pretty devastated when he found out that you two were separated. It took a really long time before he would even talk to me. So,
Yeah, he's like that. I mean, are you sure about this? I mean, you would be much more powerful with Alatar in your hands.
I appreciate it, but the spell form that you used to transfer Alatar's consciousness to this book, I think I can adapt it if I need some help. Maybe I can find another book person. I'm sorry, Alatar. It's still very confusing. But no, you and Alatar are supposed to be together, so you should take this spellbook.
Temerity smiles a bit, and she takes Alatar from you, and she kind of looks at it for a moment. The pages kind of reverberate with a light glow as she takes it in her hands, and then she looks back up at you, Reverie, and she says, "Thank you. You really have grown into your own, and it's surpassed any expectation I could dream of."
Reverie smiles and then says, "That's quite a compliment to give somebody who's 2 months old."
Well, then perhaps suffice it to say that I believe that you have wisdom beyond your years, or months, as it were.
Thank you.
We've talked about the mechanical aspects of all this, but I am curious to know, how are you feeling?
Reverie hesitates for a minute and gives Temerity a confused look, and then she says, "Normal?"
She kind of laughs a bit and says, "No, that's not what I mean. I mean, how do you feel about yourself and your progress, and how you're emotionally processing all of this?"
It's a lot. And I'm still working through it. But I know I'm me. Logically. The emotions just have to catch up.
They do tend to lag behind, don't they?
A little bit.
Well, thank you again. And this is... I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound weird, and maybe it feels a little bit weird, given the rocky start to how we've actually met face to face, but for what it is worth, Reverie, I'm proud of who you are and what you've done.
Thanks.
All your accomplishments, those are yours, and I want to make that clear.
I know.
Good.
Mine and my friends. I couldn't have made it this far without them. Are you okay?
I'm, aside from not currently beating what I once was, I'm all right. Um, I I have some catching up to do. Um, but once I'm back up, I want to help with whatever I can in all of this. Can't help but feel responsible in some way.
Well, I don't think it's your fault. Other people took over your clone somehow. Which is weird saying that from me.
Yeah, well, I hope, I know that this spellbook that we've created will bring you what you need.
Thanks.
She kind of nods and she takes Alatar in her hands, and you see she kind of flips open the pages. The pages kind of glow, and you can tell they're kind of like communicating back and forth, and it's a bit of a reunion of sorts, with Alatar back in Temerity's arms. So one last thing to button up, and I know that there is some chat going in Discord, but so Z brings to Sephi
Yep.
that yeah, so stuff's going on.
Yep.
I would like to know
The
what
cavalry is getting roused.
So I would like to know what kind of actions, if any, you guys are looking to take.
Apparently, we're going on a road trip.
You're going on a road trip.
We're getting the band back together.
Don't worry, we are totally responsible adults now.
I hate that she's there by herself, and if she's weakened, like she needs to know that she's not alone.
Temerity's always been a little on the stubborn side. We'll go see what's going on and try to help her the best we can.
Yeah. That sounds like a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Let's go see if Sepka has any good teleportation options to get that far north. I know it's near his old tomb, but that still would get us a few days walking away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm
unfortunately.
imagining this happening as like you guys are planning a girls' trip without Sepka knowing, as you're just like, we're not going to tell him. We're just going to go. He'll figure it out. It's fine.
What?
Watch the kids. We'll be back in a day. And then you just leave.
Listen, he's in charge of the tavern, okay? I'd hate to interrupt his work, and it's not like we can't hand it. Plus, Steffi always likes to go traveling.
Mm.
He
I mean,
got a
there's-
whiff of adventure, and she's like, let's go.
There's enough.
Oh my
extra
God,
cast
these
beer,
teenagers.
so. Oh, they are 100% staying.
No, the girls are not coming on this adventure. They are too little
They
for
are.
adventures yet.
They will go on girls' trips eventually, but for
But
now.
I'm sure they will.
Go on an adventure with their dad.
You know what? Sure, let's go see that one happen too. I'm down.
That's a one shot.
That could be a
They've got Biss for babysitter. She probably will take them on mini
Ooh,
adventures.
true.
every so
no
often.
doubt.
Yeah, Z can
Training.
fuck shit up, but she cannot teleport, so she's gotta call in the big guns for that.
Biss, don't tell your dad. Or do.
Yes.
It's going to be too late. Can't stop you. And then
Yes.
just leave.
So are you going to find Sepka?
Yeah, we gotta see if we can teleport.
Of course we're gonna go find Sepka.
Oh my God.
Sepka's in the kitchen filling pastries, looks over, sees Z totally up in battle gear. He's like, okay,
We're going
what's
on a
the
trip.
occasion?
I just got a call from Professor. They found Temerity. She was, and she'll basically go through the same thing she did with Seppi, explain how they found Temerity in a cave in the Zephyrin Mountains, in this stone essential like coffin, not like a U coffin, like a weird coffin, and her powers
Not like
have been.
you coffin.
Sepka just being like, I didn't realize she was such a fan of my work.
I already knew he was gonna go there. That's why we did.
Focus, guys.
Right. So Temerity, she's Talavar is there. She declined to go with Lorelai while she recovers. Did I mention that some of her powers are down and she's not as strong right now because apparently there are clones made of her? She made clones, but the clones drained her power. Sorry, focusing. They're at the monastery right now in the Zephyrin Mountains, Biota Monastery. Can we get there anyway? In any good amount of time to be there for Temerity? I'm really worried about her being out alone on her own with her drained powers and apparently the clones. And what if they find her?
Okay. So you want to get over there? Are you looking to go there like right now, or take the scenic route?
How scenic is a scenic route?
Camel. A camel is the
Quicker
scenic
would be better.
Oh my God.
What did you say?
Sepka can cast Find Steed to give you a camel if you want to go the scenic route.
Little
Otherwise,
faster, dear.
all right. Then yeah, I can
Oh my
teleport you there. That's doable.
Excellent. I thought you
What's
could.
the scenic route? Camel.
Z just blinks, like trying to figure out how that's helpful. B, how to tell him that that's not super helpful without being insulting. But C, a camel ride through the desert might not actually be too awful. But no, we have to get there.
Not what we're doing right now. Okay, wait. I gotta go get my armor. Sepka, I'm providing backup. They might need healing.
Okay, sounds fun. Tell
I didn't think
Temerity
you'd
I
argue.
said
Of course. I'll try to get her to come down and visit. This would be a nice place for her to recover.
Exactly. I have more than enough rooms in the brewery and the tavern that she can come stay in. Hopefully that will be more appealing to her than going to the Feywild.
She's gotta go for. Oh, she already turned down Lorelai's offer to go heal with her for some reason. I think they still have something going on.
probably. I have very pointedly not poked my nose in that business.
That's because it's safer, and you do have such a nice nose. I'd hate to see it disappear.
Oh, thanks.
There.
Oh.
I'll be back.
Go get your armor on, or else we're gonna do this all day.
Steffi goes grab her shit, because you know it's all up there. It's looking all pretty, because she still goes on her little adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Fedwin and I are ready to go.
Great. All right. Joe, question.
Y'all.
Has Sepka ever been to the Boyodin Monastery?
Sepka was in the space where the Byoto Monastery is before it was the Byoto Monastery, because that is where
Yeah, it used to be Vax's.
it wasn't Vax's. It was where Pips's bad guy hung out. It was at the Order of the Long Death, that monastery that was there, and got taken back into the plane of air, and now this monastery has popped up in its stead. So while Sepka hasn't may or may not have actually been to this monastery itself, he has been to the space where the monastery currently resides.
Okay. So put that in the very familiar or seen casually category.
I would say very familiar, because if he kind of focuses on that side of the mountain, that would be familiar territory, since he's been there probably a couple of times.
He'll kind of like roll his arm a bit while he gets himself prepped, looks to Z and says, "All right, it's not 100% foolproof that you will wind up exactly there, but I should be able to get you fairly close to the ballpark."
We can take it from there, Sepka.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the brewery for you while you're gone. Do you have anything like cooking over there that I should keep an eye on? Make sure it doesn't.
No. It turns out I was at a. She kind of looks down, blushes a little bit of a. What is it called when brewers have writer's block?
Explosions.
He blinks for a second. If I remember my training correctly, they call that being sober.
Yes. Yes. Sadly sober right now. But she pulls out a flask, just almost from air, and says, "But that can be changed very quickly."
Save it. If you make good time, you might be able to get to see the little foxy fella before he sets off on his next adventure. Don't want to be too sloppy. Or maybe you do. I don't know what you guys get up to.
Oh, tell the girls if they want to earn a little extra money for when the circus comes to town again, that Z has got some dishes in her sink, and it would be really, really nice if they were done before we came back.
I'll have to write up a whole quest and post it to the bulletin board, but I think I might be able to convince them.
Okay, as soon as you do that, they're both gonna race over there. That's a great plan.
Well, I am indeed Sepka, father of the fatherland. Alrighty. Hold hands. Think happy thoughts.
Let's go.
And let's see if this works.
Holding hands, thinking happy thoughts.
Here we are.
And Sepka will cast teleport, which means I get to roll a D100 to see if there's a mishap.
Hey!
Um.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm encouraged.
Wave of his hand, blink of his eye. Sepka gathers the arcane to put together this teleport spell. Seppi Z stuff that you are pretty well familiar from back in your adventuring days, so the effects are not as harsh as it would be on someone who has not experienced them before. You find yourself shunted through space and time, the whiff of ozone, as you guys are popped from one space and into another, and the crisp smell of mountain air kind of fills your lungs. It is getting dark at this point as the sun is starting to set. The ek of warning goes out across the monastery as there is a disturbance of the force. And pop goes Z and Sephi.
Fuck yes.
Not that I ever doubted him, but glad I didn't have to use my wings and get it to not fly around.
So the rest of you, out of nowhere, see these two very powerful individuals just appear out of thin air.
Well, hi.
That seemed quick.
Thorns don't let thorns be alone.
That's a really long. Why don't you just say you stick together?
That is and she's gonna give you a big hug.
Oh,
Is that
okay,
because
hello.
thorns are sticky?
Poke you.
No,
I mean, sometimes they're sticky. I mean, if they have sap in them, they're a little sticky.
Narco!
no, Seppi, sticky like in your skin. Like you grab a thorn and it sticks in your skin.
But
Oh.
we're not abusive to each other usually.
No, we're not. Not usually.
I added that caveat. I'm unaware.
Gonna just. Narco.
Hello. Yes. She like slowly reclaims Jade from Z's embrace.
Just hiding slightly behind Narco now.
Hello. I take it after talking with the professor, you elected to take the fast way over here. Right.
Well, I mean, when you have a Sepka, it's a shame not to, use him sometimes.
He
Oh,
has that many talents.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. When we got him out of the tree, he was pretty mad, and he made all the bad guys basically just go away.
Yeah.
At once.
I was terrifying and pretty amazing at the same time.
Yeah, Sepka's not really somebody you want to make mad.
Very true.
Yeah. Does he still place curses on people, or was that a mummy person thing he did?
I mean, more often these days, it's on the souffle that deflates before it's supposed to. Those ones he curses a lot.
Noted. Well, if you're looking for Professor, he is over in his room. I thought he was actually going to talk to you some more, but maybe he's working on a thing. Temerity.
I heard he was
the-
talking about a fez earlier.
yeah.
What?
Z
I don't know.
blushes.
And then Temerity. Tell the Dragon Knight is kind of following her around. I think I saw her taking a walk over by like the cliffside. So you can catch up with her there. She are the cats still like high alert and like in kung fu stances, ready to pounce on these two? Or
I think at
We're
this
just we
point
try.
I think at this point they've got to just curious stalking.
Oh, hi! Hi.
So many butt wiggles.
How are you guys doing?
Well, Seppi, should we go and find Temerity and let her know that we happen to be in the neighborhood?
Yes, but let's try to not be too overwhelming. You know, she sometimes gets a little skittish.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Well, where can we find her?
That way.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Tell Professor I'll come find him in a little bit.
Okay. She just looks at Narco as the other two wander off. I'm having slightly second thoughts about my concern.
which one? There are a lot of concerns.
I mean, specifically the one about alerting them about Temerity.
You are no longer worried about whether they can keep her safe, or you are worried that we should not have alerted them.
I mean, no. I am glad that other people can keep her safe. That's not just a small, tiny fairy dragon. And I am also not upset at all about letting people know that she is alive and needs more support than just herself and her books. There's no irony in that statement that Jade catches. But I am slightly concerned that maybe the reason she didn't want to tell them is because that is a lot of energy that's coming that way. I feel a little bit bad that maybe I've alerted them too soon on her recovery stage.
Well, the way I see it, if Sir Talavar was not able to convince Temerity to take up Lorelei's offer to shelter in the Feywild for a while, who do you think would be the next most likely people she would have updated on the situation to keep an eye on things?
That is true.
So,
Okay, good. Alright, I don't feel as bad anymore.
yes, we may have sped along what would have been the natural result of this anyway.
Right.
They are nice people who care, and I am sure that if Temerity makes it clear that she does not appreciate and does not want their presence, that they will respect that.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm sure. It's just good for everyone to know that you have someone to call for when you need it.
Yeah, maybe Temerity for their group is sort of like Ren for ours, where they seem a little standoffish, but that's just because they kind of have resting skull face, and actually they're nice. They just don't open up immediately quite so much.
That's probably right. I mean, I heard Temerity say she didn't want to be a burden to anyone, and then that just made me so sad to think that she thought she was a burden to anyone, especially after she's just been locked in a box for 6 months. So, that's probably it. She's too wizardly.
We should probably go warn the professor that his girlfriend is like here and could
Oh my goodness,
in on
yes, we should.
him at any moment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go get him.
So as
Because you have a
Ren
skull.
wasn't here. Ren didn't hear that.
Ren definitely
Okay.
did. Yeah, this isn't a Temerity situation where I just forgot you were there.
Although in that case, the comparison matches perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Do you see what we're working with?
So you guys go off to warn Professor that his girlfriend's here. Meanwhile, Sephi and Z kind of go off in the direction pointed out to go find Temerity, and as you see, Temerity and Reverie kind of chatting off on the side. And I will ask Ben, as Z and Sephi approach, would you like to take Temerity over for this interaction?
Oh, geez, put me on the spot. Yeah,
Doing it all night, man.
You don't
yeah,
have to.
absolutely.
Okay, so Sephi Z, you kind of see as Reverie is handing off Alatar back to Temerity. They're kind of finishing up that conversation.
I think Z is going to kind of stay back a little bit and let Reverie and Temerity finish their conversation. She's not going to be super rude. She knows Temerity and knows that she's not a big fan of surprises and or bum rush hugs. So she's just going to kind of wait till Temerity notices that they're there.
Steffi will pick up on that, but she is just so excited. She is practically vibrating with happiness and excitement, but she is trying to remain calm.
Oh, Z's doing the same. She's like, yeah. For sure.
So Temerity will wrap up the conversation with Reverie and excuse her, and then walk over to Z and Sephi. I didn't know you two were in the area. Hi.
Yeah, just traveling around. Good to see you.
Just happened to be in the neighborhood, and Heard that you might be here. Thought we'd hop over and say hi.
She raises one eyebrow and doesn't say anything.
Z
Okay,
will
fine. We
school.
wanted to check up on you, but still, how are you?
Z will school her face and say we were worried.
I'm better now. Not great, but better.
Yeah, we heard some parts of the story. Sepka was pretty grouchy when he came out of his sarcophagus, too.
Yes, the Neville
Yes,
giggle.
being locked into a sarcophagus, it's kind of like when you go on like a cruise for a while. You probably come back with like a bit of like a stomach bug or something. Con crud. Same thing.
Clearly.
I mean, well, it was against my choice, so. Hi. What? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
You just said hi?
Again.
That's one too many times. Z goes, hi! And she gives you a hug.
Yep, there she goes. She's been wanting to do that for a minute.
She will hug you back. So how are things at the inn and brewery?
She'll step
It's
back.
making messes. We're making messes. It's pretty good.
It's going great. You should really come by and see it. It's oh my gosh, I did such an we've improved it since you've been there last. Forgetting if she's ever actually been there.
She's probably stopped by it like once or twice at least.
We've expanded. I have a whole new cider wing. Not just we just don't do brews, we do beers, we do ciders, we do all sorts of fun things. We would love it if you would come by and check it out. So we can catch up. It's been a bit.
Right now?
I mean, Z kind of looks at her sword, looks at her bow, and she's like, "Well, if you want to go, maybe tomorrow morning we could go and head back, and you could just come and stay with us for a little while. I know." And she looks at Sephi and she says, "I know the girls would love to see you."
They are always ready to hear more adventuring stories, and they've heard ours so many times they're really looking for someone else's perspective.
Temerity will smile at that. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I can't really cast anything today, and I don't know what I will be able to cast tomorrow.
It's okay. I'm pretty sure I can get Sepka to zap us back if we need to. If not, I guess we'll have to go the long way. Although I'm not riding on a camel, I'd rather fly. Of course, you guys can't do that. I always forget about that. Figure out something.
Sefka can teleport us from here to him?
I don't know. I didn't really study that part very much. I was watching how to make sure I could heal people in case we lost an arm. That occasionally does happen.
He and I are going to have to discuss spells if he's capable of doing that.
I think that is a great idea, regardless. He'll enjoy doing that too. He hasn't had a chance to really dig into his craft that way for a while. And besides, it's kind of quiet back in Edmay. Might be a nice place to relax for a little while.
Sounds
Especially
like you've
since
been
the
through
world's
it.
trying to end again.
Sounds like you've been through it for a little bit, Temerity. Sometimes it's nice to just be able to just relax and take a breath for a minute. She's gonna kind of look down and then look right at you. Say, with family.
Yeah, I'd like to visit for a bit. We leave
We
tomorrow?
would love to have you. Yeah, for sure. I haven't seen this place before. I'd love to explore it just a little bit.
Hey, why were they making that weird noise when we got here? Some sort of like
I don't think they liked us.
ek.
I'm very nervous.
Oh, that's the ek of warning. You'll get used to it if you spend any time here.
Oh,
Oh dear.
interesting.
It is really nice here if you want to stay here for a little bit. But I would like to spend some time with you all. So, we can leave tomorrow if you want, or we can stay here for a few days. Again, I don't know what my spellcasting capabilities are going to be for a while.
That's okay. I got pretty good confidence in mine, and if anyone tries to mess with you again, I'm gonna bury them underneath the earth like I did that arena.
Could you do me a favor and bury Alatar under the earth while you're at
Alatar!
it? Because he's been screaming at me constantly for the past 15 minutes.
Alatar, what are you doing? You need to be nice.
Alatar, give it a rest.
Forgot how terrifying and adorable Sephi is at the same time.
Yeah.
So I have a question for Professor.
Wait, let me get my D100 ready.
As the gang comes to find you to let you know that Sicaria has literally appeared on the mountaintop, what's he doing?
He is
Panicking.
Yeah.
frantically cleaning his room. He's got like his clothes mostly on, his like shirt's not quite buttoned up yet, and he's like dusting frantically with like a rag, and he's like moving all over this room, not really completing any one job, but like trying to accomplish several at the same time. The door is open when they arrive, and he doesn't even notice them as they walk up unless they say something.
Professor, we have been talking to you for 2 minutes. He is here.
That was so fast. I thought she was going to walk here.
Apparently, no. She showed up with Sephi. That's her name? Sephi.
Sephi, what? Did they fly here? That is incredibly fast. I didn't know that tieflings could fly that fast.
No, they appeared. Just appeared.
He kind of looks off to the side and he's like, Sepka, kind of like a Newman type of thing. Okay.
I think that's what they said. You are making more of a mess than you are actually cleaning up.
I am.
You need help?
I don't own a place that people visit, and this is a place that people, I'm assuming, are going to be visiting. I don't know how to clean to entertain, and I don't have anyone to put all of these pages that you've transcribed. I don't want to just square them away, but I also don't want them to be in the way. Is it an eyesore? Is it an art piece? I don't even know myself. I like them, but what if other people don't like them? What do we do with them? I don't want them to get all disarranged. You work really hard on these.
I numbered the pages, and I think you just, why don't you put your shirt in your pants and do your hair thing, and Noriko and I can tidy up the room a bit so that it is not. You're just moving papers from one table to the other table. That's all you're doing. But it's not messy. It's just we've been working out of it.
Yeah. It's a workplace. Okay, thank you. Like swiftly, like turns around and tuck, button. Like, where's my coat? There it is, and he just
On the
sort
chair.
of flings it over his shoulders, and then the second that it like settles onto his shoulders, there's like a small like pulse just sort of bursts out from him with like prestidigitation, and then he's perfectly coiffed hair and ready to go. Okay.
Why don't you go lurk around a corner so that you could do that thing where like you're just you're waiting for her, like in a there's light and there's shadows, and you're just like, ooh, that's not, like like this attractive, I guess. And then Noriko and I will make sure the room is tidy and then leave
Okay.
very quickly after we're done.
Is it presumptuous? Oh, yes. Okay. I'm gonna go look. And he trots off. Oh, thank you.
Of course, that's what friends do.
Professor, with Jade and the others helping you get ready, why don't you give me a performance check with advantage?
Ooh, I do not trust my dice for a performance check.
Hey!
Out of 17, you're looking pretty good, looking pretty fresh, feeling pretty confident.
All the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a ginger guy.
You need to have like bagpipes going behind that though.
Professor leaves. Jade and Noriko are left in the room and just look at each other, and just Jade goes, I don't know why they're so nervous. They're already dating.
I've only been to her house.
This isn't your house.
I'm leaving.
This is a hotel at best.
He does that thing where he does the rock on thing, licks his pointer finger and pinky finger, runs them over his eyebrows as he
You have to wash your
Swings up
hands
and-
now.
casually saunters down the hall towards a corner to lurk around.
So as you are lurking, you see like the tail end of the interaction with Sephi and Z with Temerity.
He just sort of keep back. He's not going to interrupt them. He's just sort of like, oh, well, just sort of talk to them.
I'm also in the neighborhood.
I just
Big
happen to be around.
It's a very busy neighborhood.
Pulls off his glasses casually, says, oh, didn't expect to see you here.
Oh God.
His glasses that aren't his glasses.
Oh God, it's the quad glasses.
Yeah, it is.
He wears
He's
them.
got all of them.
He has a collection, and he wears them like they're prescription. They are not.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
So funny.
So are you announcing your presence, Professor?
No.
In that way?
He
Oh,
doesn't want to be respectful of their interaction. They're old friends catching up. He just sort of comes out a little bit and just sort of catches what's going on, and he'll sort of hang back and try to look like he's doing something that warrants him being there that isn't waiting on them. He's just examining the door frame, making it look like he's checking structural integrity. He's like, oh yeah, this is very well constructed. Yeah, not bad for cats.
I think Z and Sephi and Temerity, with your passive perception, you kind of see this ginger-haired professor trying to be very nonchalant, but also kind of not at the same time.
Z, I think your friend is here.
Z is gonna she's got that yeah, I don't know, the spidey senses. She's gonna kind of look at Seppi. She's like, I should probably put him out of his misery, huh?
No, give another 5 minutes. He's twitching a little bit.
Oh.
I mean, he is. It's been a while.
That noise goes right up there with my favorites, along with the Neville giggle. That's right up there.
Right?
I think Z will kind of walk over, and she'll kind of lean against the wall, kind of like where he's at. Just, fancy meeting you here.
Oh, you're here. I didn't know you had arrived yet.
Mm-hmm.
That was fast.
Z will kind of lean in a little bit, rest her hand on his chest, and just like look up in his eyes and say, I do not mess around when it comes to family. It's very important to me.
I'm hearing this more and more.
Mm-hmm.
He just smirks like, seriously though, I don't want to impede on your visit. So find me when you're done. I don't know why I'm standing here looking at the door frame. I think the cleaning is happening in my room, and they seem to lurk. And I swear I'm not trying to lurk. And I don't know. This is new for me. Usually it's your place, and by usually I mean that one time. No. Oh, every time that we've met has been at your place, and I get that this isn't my place, but it's a place where I'm sleeping, and you haven't been sleeping, so it's kind of like my place. And he just starts rambling.
Yeah. She's gonna give him a kiss.
He will stop immediately, and then like arms out, like and then oh right, we like this, and reciprocate. Right. Look, find me when you're done.
She'll hold his hand. She says, Temerity is going to come with us tomorrow morning back to Edme, where she can rest and be safe, and we can catch up there.
Lovely. That's brilliant.
It's been...
Did you have to twist her arm?
No twisting needed.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's going to lace her fingers between yours, and she's going to kind of tug him out of the shadows and say, come show me around your temporary place. It looks beautiful out here. And she'll kind of guide him for a walk around like the Biodo grounds.
He'll go along and try to explain as best as he can, given that he's pretty much sequestered himself between his room and wherever he can see the moon the best, as he's been studying, but he'll talk sounding as if he has authority on the matter. And lead you around.
So that's the thing.
Professor and Z going on their nightly stroll. Jade and Nariko finishing up tidying Professor's space. Ren off with Char Char and fucking around with apple seeds. Reverie and Temerity just kind of getting stuff together. All in all, a nice evening seems to be had by all. Is there anything else that any of you would like to do to wrap up the day?
I think in this like time, I'm not need to RP it out. I've jabbered enough this session, but I think just to give context, I think Yuki has been, after they had their talk this morning and everybody went kind of their separate ways. I think Yuki's been going around the monastery, just kind of absorbing the time that she has here at her home, and of course fucking around with Catch and spending time with Kiyoshi Sado and filling up her herbal supplies and just kind of savoring time here at the monastery, maybe visiting the Xiaomao, but mostly fucking with Catch.
I think Kiyoshi Sado is going to have a quick talk with you, Yuki, and she's going to say, your friend Ren seems to really enjoy this apple tea. Perhaps I teach you how to make it, unless you know how to do it already.
I would always love to know how to make things specifically so others find enjoyment in them. Please, I would love to watch you make apple tea for Ren.
So, Kyoshi Sato will go through the motions, showing you how to uh, kind of take the apple and the plant of the apple as well to kind of dry out the leaves, make the tea, and what other kind of spices and ingredients go inside it. That take a little bit of time with you too, so that you understand, you feel comfortable with this recipe, and you already having a vast knowledge of different teas that you can make. It really doesn't take a whole lot of effort for you to pick it up. It's just kind of, you know, instead, using this brew of tea, it's just swapping out like different ingredients, maybe a different time to let it steep, things of that nature. So it's not too difficult for you to pick it up, and I think over the course of a short period of time, you can pick up the skill on how to make this apple tea that they have been serving to Ren that he seems to enjoy.
Nice.
As you guys are doing that, Kyoshi says to you, "So you will be leaving tomorrow then?"
Yes. Yes, and it is time for me to get back out in the world, Shachi.
Well, do not forget the lessons that you have learned here, and should you ever lose your way, all you need to do is take a moment to balance yourself, because all of the skills that you need have been within you this entire time.
Yuki will kind of look down a little sheepishly, borderline embarrassed, thinking about all the times she freaked out or um, doubted herself, doubted her abilities, doubted that she was gonna die any second. She's gonna say, I hope to be more successful this time, Shachi.
He smiles at you and says, "I'm sure you will. This you have to remember, Yuki. This was your first time off of the mountain on your own. Things are
That's what I'm
different.
saying.
Things are different in the real. Things are different in the real world than they are just being here and studying. This is a very if you stay in one place for your entire life, it is a very closed experience that you have, and what you are doing is broadening your horizons, and it is very brave to do so, and especially with as much as you have been thrown into. And you would do well to keep that in mind and be proud of yourself for facing these things head on as you have. And you may not have meant to, but still, here you stand."
Yes, here I stand. Kiyoshi Sado. Um, I've I've been noticing. It may be nothing. It may be working too hard on reconnecting with the balance, but things have been a little different when I'm coming out of meditation or when I am doing some maneuvers or trainings.
How do you mean?
I it, it sounds weird, but it's almost like there's there's a light within me, and as I meditate, as I find the connection, as I find the deeper part of me, things in the edge of my vision, or maybe my eyes are betraying me, but things seem to almost glow. Does that make sense? Is it me? Am I trying too hard, Shachi?
She kind of nods, and Big wide cat grin, nodding very sagely. Ah, Chatu, you are finding who you really are out in the world. Like I said, staying up here on the mountaintop, never leaving, probably does you more of a disservice. Even though there is much to learn here, the best learning comes from the real world. And I think that in your travels, in your adventures, you are finding out who you really are, and I would encourage you to tap into that more. I don't think you are trying too hard. I think you are finding out something new about yourself that is coming to you naturally now. Tap into it. Meditate on it. Explore it.
All right, I will do as you have said. I will embrace it. I will seek to understand this light from within.
I am so very interested to hear what you find. Do report back to me when you can.
Yes, of course. I hope to be back for a visit soon.
We will welcome you back home whenever you are ready to return.
She's going to smile and respectfully bow. Say thank you, Kiyoshi-Sado, for everything.
Kyoshi bows back and she says, "You are welcome, Chatu."
And then she'll hug you.
Hugs back. Anything else this evening?
Just more harassing catch eventually. That's it.
Uh-oh.
That was a misclick. That was a misclick. That means nothing.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Hey,
That's all, guys.
Yo, you can take my inspiration if you need it.
You know, I'm sure
Wait,
they got
wait,
a
wait.
fee for that.
we could add some guidance on there.
Slash genius.
Do you
You
need the
guys like
binder?
right outside the
Yeah,
door helping
the entire
Megan.
party's in there adding all of their
But-
magical enhancements.
It's Jade and Nariko as we clean up the room, just like added rose petals and things that we know that are in books that are romantic.
Quick, who's got enhance ability?
Hold on, I've got bless and I've got guidance. I've got something else in here for this.
Bless is
I've got
only good
bless
on
too.
attack rolls and saving throws.
Well,
It's an attack
that's
roll?
probably a saving throw.
Hell.
I think it'd be a saving throw, depending on if we're talking about.
Yeah, you're going up against a level 20 fighter. I mean, I think that's a saving throw for sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's what I meant as a saving throw. Mhm.
That's some fucking dex right there.
If someone needs healing.
My dex modifier +1.
I think the only thing of interest otherwise is that Arby has now added a new thing to his subroutine. Alert! Ek, 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 ek.
Oh dear.
Yes.
But
No, I think we've hit all the high points for tonight.
wonderful, wonderful. Well,
Amazing.
well then, with it being 11 o'clock, we're going to say this feels like a good place to stop, and we will pick back up in the morning after you all have had a long rest, and see where you guys head out from there.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
You know, I knew we were going to have a lot of tonight's session be debating on where we were going to go, but we got through that within the first hour, and I did not realize that my comment to Mars, to like Professor, of like, maybe you should have Z know that Temerity's here, just so like some other people have an idea that she's like around, was going to lead to a whole separate interlude.
Well, you know what also
Woo!
Not upset about it.
Well, what also brought it about too was that you know, it was going to take Temerity a full day, to copy the spell book, so that kind of generated
Mhm.
this day of downtime for you guys, and it kind
Yeah.
of led to a lot of this other stuff coming about. And
And
you know,
it's great.
I know we didn't get a chance to roll a whole lot of dice tonight, but I think there was a lot of good character growth and stuff coming out of tonight's session.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Everyone gets to play 2 characters tonight. It was great.
Right?
Yeah, wonderful.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, there were so many good moments. I'm not going to pick, and everybody gets inspiration tonight.
Yay!
Yeah.
And a level up?
Not quite yet.
Sing a song.
That he answered too quickly. He wasn't willing to. He's not willing to
Listen, I
barter
tried.
right now. Yeah.
Hey, he was willing to barter for inspirations.
I know.
Quick housekeeping. We are here next week, the 1st. We will not be here on Wednesday the 8th. And we should be good to pick back up on the 15th.
Yep, cool.
Okay.
Swing,
I
swing.
think that's about all I got.
Sounds legit.
Mm-hmm.
Have anything else?
Sweet.
No, I think that's it.
That's what I fucking loved Sephi tonight, guys. Oh my god. I forgot just how adorable and terrifying she was
Right?
at
That was
the
a good
same
time.
time. Friendship.
Uh-huh.
Or else.
Friendship.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Aggressive.
I love that you guys thought for a fucking millisecond that Z would not rally the troops if she knew any of the Thorns were even slightly inconvenienced or possibly in trouble.
And now we
They
have,
are
Good
her
times.
family. Z don't play when it comes to her family.
and now we have some great additional story that's going on in the background,
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, we do.
which is fantastic.
Yeah, we do.
Layers.
Layers.
Like an onion.
There are so many layers.
Like an onion.
Parfait. Ogres are
Onion parfait.
Did someone just leave?
Ben's
Wasn't
back
me.
in about 15
Back.
minutes.
Oh, I heard a little boop, and I was just like, what just happened?
Wasn't me.
That was great, though.
Yes.
I definitely loved the 2 times tonight we got a Neville giggle out of our shenanigans.
Right?
I
Which,
just love our shenanigans.
Remind me so I can giggle again. What were the 2 things that set me off?
Oh, what was it?
I mean, it's forever enshrined in the
Yeah.
the thing now. So
Oh,
That's why
right.
we have the thing.
We must consult the instant replay, which will not be
Mhm.
instant at all. But
It is replay.
but it's there, and we can get it.
It is. It is.
Between the Neville giggle and the anguished professor noise from Mars, like fucking 20 out of 10.
Good.
So some people just had some rough times, all right?
I had to go back and I was like, it's like, oh shit, they're gonna grab Sepka. What is even on his spell list? What did I do? He's a sorcerer now, so like he's got a whole different slew of stuff he can do.
Yeah.
Hey, I knew I could not, so I figured he probably could. We usually tag team like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So when the next day comes, does Sephi have sending? Sephi's a cleric. She can give herself sending.
Yeah, she's got that. She's cool.
Yeah. So just tell the hubby you're ready for pickup, and he'll pop over and then pop everyone back.
Yep. We're ready to go home now.
I was gonna
Love
say,
it.
Yeah, it's Sepka teleported y'all there. How are you getting back?
He got teleport us back.
That's a tomorrow problem.
You're fine.
And like, here's the thing: like, if we got home the long way, that's fine. Z's main concern was getting to Temerity, like faster. Home the long way, cool. We'll have a little girls' trip adventure. That's rad. But making sure that Temerity is not by herself, low in power. Like, sure, she's got Televar or Telvar, not Telvar. Talavar. Jesus
Alatar.
fuck.
These are hard.
Words are hard. Words are hard.
Words are the worst,
Um,
man.
but getting to Temerity was Z's more important thing. We'll figure out how to get home. Once everyone's safe, we'll figure that out.
Ow!
Hi, Rocket.
He just decided he was going to try to climb my leg.
Because Sepka is a paladin sorcerer multi-class now, literally, like, besides teleport, the only other thing he could do would be cast Find Steed and give you a camel to ride. Only a single camel. He cannot give you a second camel. He can only have one.
Amazing.
Is it gonna have 1 hump or 2 humps?
It's a magical celestial camel. It can have as many humps as you want.
Oh my gosh, let's get it to have 5 humps. That'd be so much fun. Hump, 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 hump.
And even then, I think at that point, it's like this is mainly for Z. While Seppi can just kind of fly.
Yeah, totally.
Z and Temerity will hang out on a multi-humped camel. I said what I said.
Yeah, you did.
So, actually, here's an interesting thing. So, while Talavar doesn't really have any kind of like teleport capability, he does have polymorph, being a violet fairy dragon.
Okay.
And with polymorph, he can turn you into a beast whose challenge rating is equal to or less than your level. So, probably can turn Sephi into a CR20 something.
Just
I
like
am the
one
biggest,
of
prettiest, pinkest dragon you've ever seen.
Pretty much.
I think it's got to be a beast.
Look, there's a reason Lorelai sent Talavar.
You get rid of him.
I mean, it's always a bonus. It's always a bonus. But he is insanely useful for shit like this.
I think there's like a Quetzalcoatlus, which is like a huge sized dinosaur with an 80-foot fly speed. I think that would be the easiest one to make use of.
As long as I can be pink.
As long as you can make it back in an hour, because that's how long polymorph lasts.
No.
Ha!
All right, I gotta go. You guys have a great night.
Bye.
Nice.
Bye.
So what do we learn tonight?
Don't tell Z her friends might be in trouble. Cause
I
she'll
learned
fucking
that-
really.
I learned that no one wants Alatar.
Oh, poor Alatar.